Hey, I'm Shan, mama of the girls. This is Cozywombmama Podcast. I discuss everything parenting and kid affiliated. This is season 17, and I appreciate you listening. Parenting isn't about being perfect. It's about being better so our kids have more opportunities. It is that time. I am back, and I got things to say. Let's go. Hey guys, welcome back to Cozywombmama Podcast. It is Friday. Yes. Okay. Yes. It's not payday, but it's Friday. Yes. Co-parenting isn't hard if you care. My name is Shan. I am the mom of the girls. And this is a podcast where I talk about parenting and everything that's whipped up in it. Okay. So I think people got so much to say about having kids, being single, and all the messy talk about co-parenting. A lot of people say, if he's not going to marry me, I'm not having his kids, as if marriage is like a done deal and there's no such thing as a divorce. You can still become a single parent co-parenting if you got married first before you had the baby. It doesn't define and make it a definite thing. So let's stop knocking people who are successfully co-parenting in a healthy way. There's a way to do it. I truly believe co-parenting is only a hassle when one or two parents do not want the responsibility of being a mom or being a dad, or when one parent is solely thinking about themselves and not about the child. That is the only time co-parenting can be difficult, and I want to talk about it. In parenting news, a 6-year-old girl and father died in a murder-suicide after a custody dispute. Again, some people do not want to share a child and not be in a relationship with the other parent. And sometimes this is a negative result of that. I feel bad for that family. That's a lot of hurt to go through, especially for the mother, especially for the father's family side. They might, feel guilty. And that child has lost their life because one parent just couldn't come to grips with a relationship not working or a marriage not working or having to share a child. Because no matter what, you need a man to make a child. You need a woman to make a child. And both of you share that child. No one owns that child solely because of this or because of that. And that is why I'm having this discussion that I'm having about co-parenting today. And the next part of news, a mystery infant girl found at Minneapolis. I cannot say that. Airport. That is so sad, to just leave babies and children anywhere you want, despite, all of these other safe places you can leave a baby. They could have left a baby at a fire station. They could have left a baby at a police station. You leave a baby in a dirty airport where millions of people are passing through each day? Hopefully that mom or that dad did not leave that baby on purpose and it was a health issue or a kidnapping, because an airport, my heart sank when I saw that headline. And next in the news, child dies after shooting himself as caregiver played video games. It was a 5-year-old and a 6-year-old that was supposed to be watched by the uncle, who was downstairs in the basement playing video games, and the kids were upstairs playing with the gun. And the child shot the gun in their eye and later died. It is so important as gun owners, as adults, to one, be in the room, be close in the vicinity of a child, because anything can happen, and put your guns away. Lock them away. Put your guns away. Not on top of the fridge, not on the counter, not on the table, not, in the drawer beside the bed. Kids are nosy. Kids will search through your things. Okay? Panic cousins accused of burying baby in backyard. So I guess these cousins had a baby together and they decided they're going to bury the baby in the backyard and act like it didn't happen. Well, they got caught up. Okay. And that's what's going on in parenting news. It's wild out here. Be easy. Stay sane. And let's get into the meat of the show, because this needs to be talked about. Okay, so most of you do know that I have 2 children by 2 different men, and I'm not having any more kids biologically. Now, if I get married, that man will already have to have kids of his own, and we'll just blend this family together. But other than that, no new children is happening for me. So I co-parent with one of my children's fathers. The other one, he does nothing with me. He doesn't call her. He doesn't see her. He doesn't help me financially with her. He put his own self on child support when she was 3 months. Has never paid. Okay? Probably up to 30 grand right now. Never paid. Okay? So there's that. So I will say that I am successfully co-parenting with one father, and the other child I solely take care of by myself. So it's hard. It's very hard. My thing is, like, when it comes to co-parenting, your mindset matters the most. When both parents want the best for the child, co-parenting is easy. Some parents won't give their best because someone didn't give them their best, and so they're parenting out of bitterness. And you don't want to do that, okay? They will make themselves struggle just so that child has the same upbringing they had. And I don't think that's right. I think it's very important for you to show up in your child's life the way you wish an adult showed up in yours and didn't. And then add all the other great things around it. I don't engage with the foolery. I don't do back and forth texts. I don't blow up your phone 100 times. You're not popping up at my house. Like, I don't play none of those games, okay? I don't have time. To me, you shouldn't be met with so much resistance and drama if that parent wanted to parent in a healthy way. If that parent always thought about that child's feelings first, needs first, and just care first. Okay, it shouldn't be hard to co-parent if that parent truly cares about the child's well-being. You have to parent with respect when you're co-parenting. You have to watch your tone when you're co-parenting. You have to be able to self-check yourself. Be aware of yourself when you're co-parenting. There should be no bad-mouthing the other parent to that child or out loud when that child is around, because they are listening. Do not engage with the foolery. If you feel like you gotta text them a text that's longer than 140 characters like Twitter, do not send it. If you're going to talk to them in a tone where it's not going to be effective for the results that you need, do not talk to them like that. If you have to do pickups and drop-offs, like on some, just send them outside to the car, do that. If you have to do pickups and drop-off in complete silence, do that. Okay? Stop trying to co-parent a child with the other parent and control who they have your child around. Because if it's not the legal way through paperwork and things set in place on paperwork that are legal, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm not dating. I don't live with a man. So, Ari's dad could never say to me, I don't want that man or any future man in your life around my child. Sir, you live with your girlfriend. Okay? I know when I send Ari with her dad, his girlfriend is bathing her, doing her hair, taking her out sometimes, going shopping for her, doing all the motherly things because she is a mom, but she's just not the mom to my child. But at the same time, if his girlfriend is going out of town, my child cannot go with your girlfriend out of town unless you are going, because you are my child's parent, not her. And legally, health reasons why, she can't have a say on what happens to my child because I need to be informed. So we had a discussion where I guess his older daughter was looking at colleges and she was going on college tours. And he allowed his girlfriend to take Ari with them. And it wasn't out of state, but it was far enough where, one, he didn't tell me. Two, I found out through a 5-year-old, not him telling me. And I'm just like, you know what? Every time I go out of state with the girls, I tell you ahead of time. Every time I drive long distances, I tell you ahead of time. Anytime I'm going somewhere that's not at least an hour away from your house, I tell you where I'm going. For you to not think that you should have said something to me about that trip is irresponsible. And ever since we had that discussion, he apologized. And now every time when his girlfriend is wanting to go somewhere with Ari, he like fake asks me through text, oh, she's going to the park, can Ari go? Duh. The park is not 2 hours away. Like, of course. But he's being like passive aggressive in that way. And that in co-parenting is something that happens when you have a petty, just like parent that wants to have a back and forth. You have to be aware of what that looks like. And that's what I deal with sometimes with Ari's dad. Anya's dad, he knows like I'm not accepting nothing less. So because he wants to give less and show up as less of a father, he's quiet. He doesn't do anything at all. And to me, yeah, it sucks that Anya doesn't have that like Ari has it with her dad. But at the same time, I hope that her dad matures this year and it doesn't happen. And one day he's going to mature, and that's going to be the day where he regrets all the time that he's missed. Okay, in all the ways that he could have showed up and he chose not to. And he chose to worry about himself. Every time he eats, he's not worried about if Anya's eating. He's not worried about Anya's health. He's not worried about, does Anya have the clothes she needs for school or for this season before I go buy me a $200 pair of shoes. Before I go out on the steak dinner, does Anya need anything? Like, that doesn't go through his mind. And that's why I said, when you're co-parenting, your mindset has to be a certain way in order to co-parent. His mindset is still stuck on, I'm doing for me, I'm gonna get this money for me, I'm gonna do for me. And you would think that Anya is like the only child that he has. No. This man has 3 kids. Anya's his first kid, and he just kept having kids after. And he does the same thing the same way. And I just don't accept slack from men who are capable of more. I can't, I won't, I don't. Okay? Co-parenting tips, though. Focus on your kids' peace. If your child having everything they need as far as school supplies and you buying it and you dropping it off, cool. You know your child has everything. If your child has uniforms, when I tell you Ari's dad went buku on uniforms, pants, shorts, shirts, dresses, skirts, socks, underwear, 2 shoes, backpack, supplies, like, he took care of all of that. And I appreciate him for it, because for the first time I have a co-parenting situation where I don't have to be solely responsible for school supplies, school uniforms, underwear, undershirts, socks all the time. It's not all on me. And on top of that, he still paid me his portion of support for her. I don't have him on child support because clearly he takes care of her. Hey guys. Hey there. Are you a creator? Are you a podcaster? Are you looking to start your own podcast? Cool. I love it. I like it. Go do it. But to get you started on the right track, please check out the podcast journal to organize and get your flow right, or how to market your podcast with Marketing the Podcast 101. That's another book that you should grab. And if you want to store all your podcast questions that make it just your signature touch to your show, your signature touch, okay? Make it yours with the podcast questions. It's a journal for podcasters, for creators who want to get organized and really put that spice on your brand on lulu.com. All those journals created by me. I'll put it in the show notes. Thank you so much for checking out Cozy Womb Podcast. Don't forget to check out the Cozy Womb shop for all your merch and Mama's Cozy Closet with Teespring. Now back to the show. And the podcast spotlight for today is We Still Like Each Other podcast. It's a wife and husband who have discussions about their marriage, their relationship, things they want to improve, and it's really honest. It's something relatable. So if you're looking for a new podcast to listen to, they have the greatest clips on TikTok. And the podcast is called We Still Like Each Other. Peace.
Here we go.
Back to the show.
Back to the show.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't feel like that had to stay in place, so I took him off of child support. But for Anya, like, I wish I had at least 50% help with her, but I don't. But Anya does have what she needs from me, from family, from people around me, so I do get that help. But it is hard when you don't have a parent that wants to co-parent in a healthy way for the child. I think during co-parenting it's very important for you to create better options for your child. If you can help them with extracurricular things that they want to do, like ballet, dance, soccer, do it. If you have extra time to spend with the child, do it. If you could pick up the child from school instead of the other parent always doing it, do it. If you can get groceries, do it. And if you have two separate households in your parenting, co-parenting, have the same shoes, school stuff, a bed, a room, a desk, books at your house just like the other parent has. It's not fair for you to keep having a conversation. Make sure they bring this and make sure they bring their computer and make sure it should be like a straight duplicate. I have two parents. They are not together. They live separately and they're co-parenting. And everything I have at my mom's house, I have at my dad's house. Vice versa. And if it's not like that, that's what you need to work on. You don't need to be worried about getting a new PlayStation as a man. You don't need to be worried about getting new rims on your car if your child doesn't have what they need at your house. You don't need to be worried about when the news J is going to drop and if you're going to get them or not. You don't need to be worried about going out for All-Star Weekend when your child doesn't have what they need. And that other parent shouldn't have to chase you down to do right for your kid. Stop bringing up old mess that maybe was foul play or maybe, you're still upset about in a good situation now. I think bringing up old things that people are still upset about when the situation is better now is pointless. I think it's like pouring salt on the wound when there's no drama. Stop bringing up old stuff. Okay? And appreciate the other parent. Yes, I know the other parent might be doing things they're supposed to do, but if they went from not doing anything at all to showing up more and you appreciate the help, Let them know you appreciate them showing up more, because sometimes when a parent never seen their parents show up in a way that they needed and they're going above and beyond to be different, to be better, they need that encouragement. And I know some people be like, well, that's what she's supposed to do. I'm not about to pat you on the back for doing what you're supposed to do because nobody pats me on the back. Stop making it about you. Some people need encouragement because they never receive encouragement. Some people need to know that they're appreciated because nobody ever told them that they were appreciated. And when it comes to women not being the best mother and changing over time and becoming better, let them know you see the difference and you appreciate it. When it comes to men not being the best fathers and showing up in a better way, let them know that they're appreciated. Parents who grew up without parents loving them give you drama. Parents who didn't have one parent might give you drama. Parents who were always struggling or are currently struggling will give you a lot of pushback. Parents who want to be more romantically involved with you and you don't want that will give you pushback. Parent who hasn't healed from whatever they need to heal from and they need therapy will give you pushback. Parents who hate responsibility will give you pushback. A parent who can't control you through a child will give you pushback. So this is what I'm saying. Share the time, share the care, double up on everything, build confidence in your child. If you have 2 separate homes, that should be 4 different grandparents. Okay? And I know a lot of people's grandparents are not around, but your child should have double the love to go around if you're parenting in a healthy way. You should be sharing, teaching your child, disciplining your child, shopping with your child, feeding your child, nurturing your child, and loving your child. It's not, oh, his mom does all that, or her mom take care of that. What are you doing? Because for a lot of males, it's, yeah, I helped make the child. Goes through 9 months, the mom has childbirth. Yeah, I was at the childbirth. I buy diapers. I drop off milk. I go check up on her on weekends. I see her on her birthday. I see her on Halloween. I got Facebook pictures. Taking care of a child is way more than that. And a lot of times, the friction that's between 2 people that are trying to co-parent is the lack and the slack that is happening on one side for a dad or a mom versus the other side where that dad or that mom has to pick up where that parent won't. A lot of people who are co-parenting hate being the only responsible one. A lot of parents who are co-parenting hate being the one that always has to take off of work if the child is sick. A lot of parents who are co-parenting just need a break, and maybe they'll talk to you different. Maybe their attitude would change if they have time for themselves. But a lot of people who are co-parenting and not showing up 100% in it like they could, they have all this animosity to give the other parent who's been there taking care of the child the whole time. If you are a dad and you think you're such a great dad and you never took your child to a dentist appointment, you're not. If you are a dad and you think you're such a great dad and you never called out of work to pick that child up from school and stay home a couple of days with that child because they're sick and take care of them, you're not. If you are a dad and you never offered to take the child or the kids for the weekend and let that mom have a weekend to herself every once and again, you're not. And I don't care if you're married or you're not married. Women need space to come out of the mindset of momming all the time. Men need space to come out of the mindset of dadding all the time and being a quote-unquote bank for every problem that comes with having a child in a household. Life gets heavy, okay? So when you're co-parenting, just please check yourself, check your tone, check your mindset, and focus on things being better for that child. When a child has two happy parents, two confident parents, they are the most confident, alert, aware, and willing children to try more and do more. You can always tell when a child has parents who are parenting in a balanced way versus a parent who's solely trying to show up in every way and be everything to that child, and that child walking around with a chip on his shoulder, or a child not having confidence. So when you're co-parenting, just focus on the kid. My name is Shan. This is Cozywombmama Podcast. I appreciate you for listening. Don't forget to like, share, and review. Share with someone else that is co-parenting. I appreciate y'all. Don't forget to check out the Cozy Womb shop and lulu.com for the podcast books. Peace. Bye.
Bye.